Believe it or not, but this is the official website of Amazon. See how links look like nothing is formatted at all. But now have a look at this. This is the same page with the CSS applied. In this video, we are going to have a look at how to apply CSS to our HTML. So let us start by creating an HTML file. So currently we are learning CSS, so I created the file inside our CSS folder. I will type exclamation mark and hit tab, which will create this boilerplate for me, and then I will type here h1 with hello CSS and then open the file with live server, and this is what we got. We have three ways of applying CSS to our HTML files: inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. So let us see them one by one. The first way is the inline CSS. We go directly inside the element and type style, and then whatever styles we want to apply. For example, color is red. So I applied red color to this heading. Let us go inside our browser and see that the changes are applied accordingly. We have the red color for this heading. But now think, if we have similar 100 headings, we want to apply this red color. So we have to repeat ourselves, but this is against the programming principle called dry. Do not repeat yourself. That is why we consider this one as the bad practice. And we do not write CSS this way. This is only for testing or debugging or some other purpose. If you are writing the production ready code, then you do not write it this way. The next way is we can go inside our head tag and type style, which will start our style tag, and inside here we can, for example, write here h2. So we have this h2 right here. Again, we will apply some color. So I will type h2, and then inside here I will type color is green. So I applied the green color to this text, and you can see this right here. It is properly applied on our second heading. The heading level 2 is now green. So but again, there is one problem. That is, if we have another HTML file in which we want to apply the same styles to the h2, we would have to copy and paste this CSS code and put it inside that file. So for that purpose, we consider this as well not a good practice. It is okay to write this way, but still there is one better way, that is the external CSS. Create CSS file. For example, we already have 01_intro.css. Let us type some paragraph. So we have this paragraph of text. Now we want to apply the styling to it. We will type P and then apply color. For example, blue. Once we apply the color, go to your browser. Is this applied? No, not at all. Why? So let us understand why did this not work. So the first thing what we did is the inline CSS. At that time, HTML was aware of that we have to apply it to this, and then we applied here. HTML was again aware because it was inside the same file. We have the CSS inside the same file, so HTML was already aware that we have to apply to this h2. But at this point, when it is inside the different file, how would HTML know that it has to be applied to this paragraph? So that is when we need to link our CSS file to our HTML. So for that, I will type here link : CSS. This is emit abbreviation which auto completes our code. It links and creates a relationship of a style sheet to our CSS file. But our CSS file name is not style.css, so I will change it to /01_intro.css. So this is our file. If your file is located in the same folder, then you type it this way, / and then file name. And now if we check, it is applied. The CSS is applied. So this is the third way and the recommended way to write CSS. Now we can write CSS, and this is known as the separation of concerns. Now we have CSS inside its own file and HTML is inside its own file. Now if we want all the paragraphs inside any file to be below, we have to just type this link, and all the CSS, not just this paragraph, but every style which is written inside this file will be applied on all of those files without messing all of the files. So we do not have to copy and paste, and this is how these things work. This might not be clear to you. For that, I want to make it clear to you. So let us now understand the syntax of CSS. Let me make it easy for you to understand what this is and how to write it. So first of all, you write who is being styled. Then you write the curly braces so that all of the styles which you want to apply will be enclosed inside this. And it is where you write all of those styles which you want to apply. And then what property do you want to apply? A colon. And then you have to mention the value. That should be how. Like the color has to be blue. Once we complete this, we put a semicolon at the end. And similarly, you can have multiple of these styles in the same way. And if you have the another element, you repeat the same process again. For the strong tag, I want it to be underlined. You do not need to remember these. We will practice them and we will understand them in detail. So now let us see, and you can see we have this underlined. Before we move on, how do we leave notes for ourselves? For example, I want to say that this file I was learning for introduction to HTML. So maybe I want to give it a chapter name at the top, or maybe I want to write any notice. For example, this style is being applied to maybe head section. If I write it like this, you can see it considers it as the code. So in order to make it note, just press command /. So now this is a comment. While parsing the HTML or CSS, at that time it will ignore it. For example, here I will type intro to CSS. So far, how we selected these elements is with the tags. We have tag name here, we have tag name here, and we have tag name here as well. But there are multiple ways how you can select them. For example, create one more element. So I have this much of HTML here, and now we want to select it. But I do not want to select it by tag name, because if I select it with tag name, then all of these are being selected. For example, if I show you inside the browser, I want this to be blue, but not this one. This one I want maybe in some different color, maybe violet. So for that case, I will select it with the ID. I will give it ID. Here I will type ID note. This is a small note. I will type here #note, that I want to select something with the ID of note. You can see it right here as well. Element with ID of note. So that is what I want to select. And for that element, I want to apply the background color and color. I will check inside browser and you can see that we have it here. Here I will apply some padding. Do not worry if this is very much complex at this point, but later on this will be clear to you when we learn it in a very much detail. So now you can see it looks very nice. We can select with the classes as well. For example, class reply. Now I type dot reply. Then so this is how we do it. And now this is underlined. And if we have, for example, we have another bit of text right here. So if you see inside your browser, it is a normal text. But the moment I add class reply to it, this is what we have. We have the underline under it. We applied the style once and it is being reused by other element. Note that single element will have this ID, but the multiple elements can have the same class. So that is the difference between class and ID, and we will read more about these selectors in our next section. So to recap, always use external style sheet, link it in your HTML head tag. Remember the syntax? We have selector, then the curly braces, the property and the value, and then semicolon at the end. Use classes with the dot and use IDs with #. So you have successfully styled your first HTML page. So till this point, we were using light mode for our browser just with one line of CSS. I will type body and then background color is black, and that is it. We have our dark mode set up. So now we will not have any problems with the dark mode, and from our next sessions, we will have dark mode set up. If you have any problems with how to create these divs and other things, just watch my tutorial on box model that explains it in detail. If this video helped you understand CSS, please hit the like button so that YouTube suggests it to other students like you. So this is your host Quresh Akil, and I will see you in the next one.